All right, now let's talk security. The role of effective leadership, resilience, and artificial intelligence in a changing global order is the focus of the training for military personnel in Abuja. The program, organized by the Nigerian Army Resource Center in collaboration with King's College London, is aimed at enhancing the capacity of senior military officers in combating emerging threats.
I want to challenge the senior army officers to start thinking outside the box. There are challenges out there. You see, when we talk about collaboration, you must bring something to the table. You must bring knowledge, you must bring experience. So we want to sharpen the knowledge, we want to improve their experiences before they go out there and collaborate with others.
Well, AI belongs to what is referred to as emerging and disruptive technologies. Gradually it's becoming integrated into every process that we do, from our behaviors to our daily living. And as practitioners in the field, it's very important that senior military officers get acquainted with the rudiments of AI so that they can also enhance their processes in the field.
We have a new way of looking at things in terms of policy, in terms of concept, operations, and ultimately in terms of how we work together in the future.
The training is geared towards using artificial intelligence in upskilling the fight against terrorism and other crimes in the country. Let's head to Borno now. In a typical human society, unusual problems sometimes require unusual solutions. Now, that best describes the current situation in Borno State, where a multi-sectoral committee recently formed by the government is helping to rid the capital city and environs of crime. Abubakar Musa is here to tell us about the impact of this new development.
Apart from the about 2 decades-long insurgency Borno State had to grapple with, some urban-based social vices like phone snatching, gangsterism, rape, shop and house breaking, and even robbery have become regular of the daily complaints emanating from residents of some quarters within Maiduguri city and its environs, with other urban cities not spared of such challenging vices. So pervasive have these vices become that hardly a day or week passes without reported cases of security breaches involving precious lives and property, most especially within the state capital and other urban areas. The assorted lethal arms, charms, and drugs here are confiscated from different individuals and groups within Maiduguri city, courtesy of the State Commission of Justice-led committee formed by the Professor Babagana Umar Zulum-led administration to revert or even put a complete stop to the emerging urban-based social vices.
We got a report from concerned citizens of certain heinous crimes being committed, certain areas that are harboring criminals and all sorts of crimes being committed. And we recognize that there is a need for us to attend to this problem in a more strategized and coordinated manner.
Residents have acknowledged the bold steps so far taken by the government and security organizations, describing the inauguration of the committee as apt.
It's good that the government is reacting now. Never to do it is, coming late is better than not doing it at all.
It's very, very important with the situation that we find ourselves in Borno State. It's a step forward for the government.
It's a good development. It will move the state forward, it will move the nation forward, it will touch on all nooks and crannies.
Stakeholders say to achieve maximum success in the area of guaranteeing security, the citizenry must be willing to play their parts to the fullest. After all, the issue of security should be considered as everybody's business. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
Well done to the government of Borno State. We head to Yobe now, where Governor Mai Mala Buni has convened an emergency meeting with heads of security agencies and other stakeholders to discuss pressing security issues while adopting new measures to enhance safety of lives and property of citizens of the state. Yunusa Suleiman takes it from here.
The expanded security meeting convened by Governor Mai Mala Buni is to review and discuss pressing security issues, as well as initiate and adopt measures that will further enhance the security of lives and property in the state. Following extensive deliberations behind closed doors, the special advisor to the governor on security matters briefed journalists on the outcome of the meeting, describing it as productive.
As part of the strategic guidance of His Excellency and his vision is to expand Operation Habamaza, which used to be a police operation, into a joint operation that will involve all security agencies in the state. And with this expansion, we expect to see a replication of Operation Habamaza in Potiskum, Gaidam, Gashua, Unguru, and Bunyadi.
On the recent closure of three popular weekly markets in Katarko, Kukareta and Bunyadi in Damatru and Gujiba local government areas, the security advisor described the decision as difficult but necessary.
And the reason for the closure is to give government and security agencies the time to get things organized and prevent any such incident that will endanger the lives and property of people in the market.
The markets, government assures, will open for transactions once concrete measures are put in place to guarantee the well-being, safety and security of citizens. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
It is better not to experiment drug abuse at all than seeking help and rehabilitation after the repercussion of such action begins to rear its ugly head. Experts and concerned stakeholders emphasized this at the 2025 edition of the MTN Foundation's Anti-Substance Abuse Conference in commemoration of World Drug Day in Lagos. Diana Ajale reports.
I didn't know I was signing up for something more harmful and detrimental.
My husband said to me, "Haven't you ever had enough of this? Don't you feel sorry for this little boy? He loves you despite everything." And I made a silent promise that I am going to overcome my addiction.
This is the evidence that the fight against drug abuse in Nigeria is indeed a shared responsibility, as individuals who were previously victims of substance abuse are now leading clean lives, thanks to MTN Foundation's anti-substance abuse program. The initiative is also sensitizing secondary school and university students who may easily be lured into drug use as a result of peer pressure.
To our young people, you are the future of this nation. Your choices today shape your tomorrow. You have the power to say no, to seek help, and to rise above peer pressure and harmful influences.
Data has it that by 2030, drug use in Nigeria will increase by 40%. And so this is what we can do to contribute to stemming the tide, because indeed substance abuse in Nigeria is an epidemic.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Chairman CEO NDLEA Brigadier General Buba Marwa represented, and other key stakeholders speak on the effects of drug abuse in the society.
It is not just timely, it is urgent. It reminds us that prevention is not an option, it is an imperative.
The burden of substance use disorder is not only a health crisis, but also a threat to national security.
MTN Foundation Anti-Substance Abuse Program, ASAP, is a platform for the leading mobile telecom network provider management to add their voices in the fight against drug abuse and illicit trafficking in Nigeria. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Muyi Aino, has reaffirmed that President Bola Tinubu's administration is taking bold and concrete steps to reduce maternal and neonatal deaths in Nigeria. Dr. Aino, during the signing ceremony for bilateral memoranda of understanding with 10 Gates Foundation supported states, described the agreements as major milestones in implementing flagship maternal and neonatal mortality reduction innovation and initiative.
Yes, that the federal government will support you And that's inclusive of the Federal Ministry of Health through the Sword Coordination Office, the NHIA, the NPHCDA, and other entities at the federal level. And then what we expect will be the state counterpart for this.
This is not the first MOU that is happening between states and federal government or states and partners. And the good thing is that with each MOU, there's always an improvement on the previous one.
Dr. Inuwa further revealed that through the Identify, Enumerate, Vaccinate strategy, over 400,000 pregnant women have already been identified and are being engaged to provide services across 6 states. He called on commissioners and state officials to take ownership of the program and expand it beyond selected local government areas. The initiative aims to rapidly reduce maternal and infant mortality through a coordinated sector-wide approach championed by the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Pate. From health, let's talk education. 9,389 candidates, representing 39% of the 24,074 candidates, scored 50% and above in the June 14 federal and state technical colleges common entrance examination. Out of this number, 316 candidates scored 70% and above. The Registrar, National Business and Technical Education Board, NAPTEB, Mohammed Aminu Mohammed, disclosed this during the opening of the 2025 National Common Entrance Candidate Selection and Placement Exercise taking place at NAPTEB headquarters, Ikpobo Hill, Benin City. Jude Abugo reports.
Analysis of the common entrance results shows that out of 29,260 total enrollments, 24,074 candidates sat for the examination, reflecting an increase of 21,714 from the 7,546 enrollments recorded in 2024. The remarkable increase, the Minister of Education, Moruf Olatunji Alausa, represented at the event, attributed to the recent free tuition initiative approved by the federal government.
With the free tuition for the students of technical colleges generally, both federal and state colleges, societal acceptance of TVET is gaining more ground. Our federal technical colleges must therefore offer well-articulated and targeted programs of study for the acquisition of skills, assessment and certification to fulfill government expectations and meet public demand.
At the end of this selection exercise, every successful candidate would be able to check his or her result on NAPTEB portal.
A goodwill message from the Nigerian Television Authority, delivered by Zonal Director, Benin Network Center, Teni Ajayi, acknowledged the sacrifices of teachers in empowering youths that will shape the future of the nation.
This exercise is a clarion call to creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship, and I have no doubt that our young talents will rise to the challenge.
The new TVET initiative of the federal government is designed to empower young Nigerians with vital practical skills needed to actualize the nation's aspiration of becoming one of the world's top industrialized nations. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
This is News Extra. There's more news in a bit. Please remain tuned.